Dun dun dun! Welcome to Entertainment is Dead. I am your host, Chuck Swart!
So good. I don't even understand what's happening.
The podcast where no one shows up and we drink beer, or I drink beer and Tom shows up.
I want to drink beer. Can I drink beer? Why don't I have beer?
Here you go, Tom.
Dude, why is Skype just breaking constantly? I have so much Skype rage right now. You don't understand.
Sounds like my Castlevania rage from this weekend.
It's up there.
Let's talk about it, Tom.
Let's do it.
Let's talk about it. Let's put my leg up. We're going to talk about the Skype rage and the Castlevania rage.
Mandy may have arrived.
Hey.
Well.
All right, just in time.
Perfect.
So.
It was a sprinting all around my house to get the chaos under control.
I have one child, and that child has made said mess in this house. And I live in like 700 square feet, if that. So I can't even fathom having two children right now. Luckily, one of them's stationary for you right now. Yeah, Baby Chuck 2.
Baby Chuck 2.0.
Right. So, in case our listeners don't know who everyone is, I've got Mandy here. She is with just running in from baby
run
central, literally.
Yeah, and that.
And of course my cohort over here, Thomas Winkley, coming back for the 54th episode straight, never quitting. He's like the Terminator of episodes.
I think we're on like episode 59. We're up there. And I think if you count like our various reboots, I think we've actually done over 100 episodes, thinking about it.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Like, because we did like 10 to 20 episodes recording on Skype. Just recording straight Skype audio and dumping it, and then we got rid of that.
Yeah.
And then we did some of the Hangout shows. There's probably, 10 or 15 Hangout shows. So we're probably in the 90 episode range since we just kind of started over.
If you love us enough to actually get those, contact at Thomas Winkley. He will get you those podcasts.
I probably won't. I don't even know if I have.
If you offer him sexual favors, he'll probably find them.
That is an absolute truth. 100% truth.
He takes blowies and candies. So
you are in such high spirits tonight. It makes me excited for the future. It does.
So I think it's a combination of a few things. We went to Brooks. Brooke had like
I gotta stop you there. Like your Xbox is freaking out, and so like your audio and your video's not matching up at all. Like I can hear you, but I can't see you. Like right now, you're sitting on screen with your eye closed. Oh, now you're back. Anyway, you went to Brooks. I'm sure it was wonderful.
So yeah, we had a little HOA party thing, and
HOA party, is that what yuppies do?
Yeah.
Go on.
Hey, I found some drinking buddies in the neighborhood.
In the HOA?
Yeah. In the HOA.
Did you talk about lawn care? What time the garbage gets taken out?
Tom, those bastards steal all your money for actual work.
Oh, the HOA. Actually, they do mow the front lawn and tend to all that shit, which is good because, here's the thing. It's really cheap. It's only like $80 or something like that a month.
Oh,
that's it? That's all?
Dude.
It's just like my internet plus Netflix?
That's true. But here's the thing.
You can pay a kid $10 a week to mow your lawn. It's $40 a month.
No, it's not about my lawn that I'm worried about. It's about my neighbor's lawn. So I've lived in places where people keep their yard like shit. I hate that.
So what you're saying is you're a judgmental asshole, and you enforce your judgmental asshole rules by $80 a month.
Here's my $80. Make my neighbors have good lawns.
God, man. What happened to you, man? You used to be cool.
I know, and then I started getting into lawn care.
Dude, my lawn looks awful because I have a girl dog, and when she goes out and if she ever pees on it, we try not to let her because girl dogs their pee destroys grass. But it's interesting. It destroys it right where they pee, but then on the edges of the circle of their pee, it's super, super green because it's like the ammonia or something, and it is actually good for your grass, but not as concentrated. Like when they pee, it's like terrible.
I think it's like the nitric oxide or I don't know.
There's some science. Just
See,
say science.
I have a girl dog and 2 male dogs, and they don't actually do damage with the peeing for me. It's the running up and down my front lawn. Like, I am reseeding it and rebuilding it. Because that's this podcast.
Your grass has a receding hairline.
It does, it does. It's bad. Actually, right now, I also dug out a bunch of the stonework out of my lawn, too. So now it's got a receding hairline and a racetrack. So it's got a bald spot.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I never really had any problems with my boxer, but Louie's the same way. Like, I just think it's like dog to dog. He has like the most concentrated pee on the planet, and he'll always go in the same spot. So like he's like currently killing the lawn in the front right now. So, anyways, yes, that's what this podcast is about, Tom. We're old people
Welcome
that have.
to Entertainment is Dead, the show about lawn care.
This is how you
Welcome
take
to
care of your
Lawn
lawn.
Talk with Lance, Tom, and Mandy.
I could talk about lawn shit. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but like actually, Brooke told me about I think he's on NPR once a week or something like that. There's a lawn care guy, and he's like, you have to listen to this guy. I'm like, fuck yeah, I need to listen to this guy. I love taking care of the lawn.
You know what I miss from NPR? I miss the Car Talk guys. Did you ever listen to Car Talk on Saturdays?
No.
They were these like really awful personas, but they were like that typical radio blast DJ, and they just like sit there and tell puns about cars. Like, these people would call in and be like, my car doesn't shift well. It's probably a transmission or a unicorn in the vents. And then they just laugh for like 5 minutes, and then they take the next call. It was awesome.
Speaking
it's
of,
like they laugh at their own jokes.
that made me think about something I listened to this week. Shout out to Through Being Cool podcast. I listened to one of your episodes this week, and it is fucking terrible and amazing and funny all at the same time.
I'm sure they appreciate you calling them terrible.
No, they're well aware of the terribleness.
They're very crass.
They open this episode actually telling people not to tag them on Facebook because they don't want people that they know in the real world at like work to find this thing and tie them to it. I will throw it out there too. Thanks for the shout out, you guys. I'm super stoked that my awful HTML and XML advice got you back on the webs. Also, Lance's camera is just zooming around his living room right now.
It's fine. It follows me. Just like I told you, like my Xbox will actually follow me when I'm naked too, and then log me in. So like I'll walk through the front room naked, and all of a sudden it's like blink blink. I'm like, oh, you're welcome, Microsoft. You're welcome.
That's why I don't have a Kinect anymore, because the whole dancing aspect.
Did it pick you up?
Because when Lance is walking through your house naked, it would sign in.
Yeah, all of a sudden I'm at Mandy's house, walking around naked. Her husband's there. And he's just chilling on the couch. I walk through naked. Hey, and logs me in.
Hey, what's up? No big deal.
So,
I just gotta sign into the Xbox real quick. I'll only be a moment, guys.
No, but I was trying to talk to Brooke about one of the lines he said in that in Through Being Cool. What did he say? There was two of them that I really liked.
Their new motto is more fart jokes than you can shake a dick at.
Yeah, I loved it. And I was telling Brooke that I'm like, it's so funny. He was talking about farts and shaking a dick, and Brooke's just like, yeah, that's just not funny at all. So, I don't find them funny.
Shout out to those guys. They are funny as hell.
And I did actually think about making. Did I tell you this? That other thing they were talking about, the Born Ugly, Raised Stupid.
Born Ugly, Raised Stupid.
And I was going to actually make like a background silhouette of Salt Lake City and then like do some stuff at the bottom, like some scripting in Photoshop that says that. But then I realized they're not from Salt Lake, so they probably wouldn't think it as funny as I do. Mm-hmm.
So anyway, they're our buddies. Shout out to them. Good folk.
Yep.
Patrick and Nick. Good dudes.
All right. Dudes. So on the agenda tonight, we're going to talk about a few things. We're going to talk about the new Assassin's Creed, as much as I don't want to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the new Castlevania.
Ish.
We're going to talk about Destiny.
We are?
What's on the ballot for last week? Yeah, barely. We're just going to talk about it for a minute. Come on, Tom.
It's almost the 19th.
Give it a little bit. Just give it a little bit.
I don't want to give it any bit.
Just the tip. Just for a minute. Just see how it feels.
Just a tip, Tom. Give it a tip. So I don't really have anything else to talk about tonight. So anything else you guys want to talk about, it's fine. Mad Max comes out Friday. I have a semi because of that. So I'm like
Oh, my
here,
brother saw that.
and
my brother
then
just
and
saw
then
it
on
tonight, so it's
Friday I'm
awesome.
gonna be like here, and then I'm gonna take my girlfriend home and be like, hey.
All right, so Mandy, you saw it, and it was good. Or your
No,
brother
I
saw it.
haven't seen it. My brother saw it. Yeah, he said it was really good. And a couple of reviews that I heard about it said that it's like genuinely one of the best movies to see this summer. Like it's just an entertaining, really good movie.
Well, and there was a review we were reading when the guy said that the movie was made as if they took $150 million from Hollywood into the Namibian desert and then sent clips back of the movie to Hollywood piece by piece as if it was a hostage that were cutting off its body parts. And I don't know if that's a good review or a bad review, but it really made me want to see the movie.
Interesting. Yeah, that's funny.
And
I think one of the things that I liked the most about it, they actually took the original bad guy from the first movie, and he is the bad guy in this too,
Oh, cool.
which is fucking crazy. Like
Yeah.
and I was actually watching on Geek Tyrant, they were talking about they do like 10 things you probably didn't know about Mad Max.
Mm-hmm.
That was a very super low budget film, and the director actually got the idea from he was actually an ambulance driver or something like that, or he rode in an ambulance in Australia, and just saw all these awful car wrecks and stuff like that, and he started just kind of piecing it together. So a lot of it was him like trying to recreate these accidents that he had seen in real life and stuff like that. What else did I see in that? Everybody else besides Mel Gibson and his buddy, none of their outfits were actually even like paid for. They were just their own outfits. They couldn't actually pay for these guys to bring, like, they're a whole motorcycle clan. They couldn't actually pay for them to be flown out, so they actually gave them the bikes in another part of the country or something, and they had to ride the bikes for like 2 days to get to them.
Oh, gosh.
Some crazy shit. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff with that movie. It's kind of cool. I like that kind of crap though.
Same.
So anyways, really excited about it.
Yep.
Yeah, and Tom was gonna go with me, but then he decided to get married like 3 years ago.
4
And
years.
just so happened, 4 years ago, he decided to go fucking get married, and it happens to be on the weekend that Mad Max comes out. So
Yeah.
thanks a lot, Anna. Thanks a lot for marrying
Hindsight is
Tom.
2020. Like if I could look back, I probably would reschedule my wedding so that I could go see Mad Max on Friday. I'm a little sad about it, but it's all right. It'll work out. I'll go see Mad Max on like Saturday or Sunday or something. So
But you'll
Fine.
miss out. You won't be with Chuck.
it's true.
Does Anna even want to see it?
Nope, not at all. I'm probably
See,
gonna
that's everybody that I've talked to. All my guy friends, I called Lowe's, and I was like, "Hey,
Like the
Kelsey-"
store?
Oh
Sorry.
no!
No,
Store.
oh
His
no,
name
it's
is
one of our
Lowe's.
friends.
Oh my gosh.
His name is Carlos.
Lowe's.
I thought you meant like you just called Lowe's and you're like, hey, anybody want to go with me?
We
You
have a
guys are a
friend
pretty
named.
manly store, right? Do you guys want to, like, anybody in your lumber department want to catch Mad
No,
Max
your
with me this
grass
weekend?
department, man.
Oh
All
yeah,
the
he loves those grass
department.
people.
Yeah. So I called him today, and I was like, "Hey, just to let you know, like, if you and Taylor want to go to this movie," he's all, "Man, Taylor does not want to fucking see that movie." Like, I've talked to her all. This is all you need to tell her: explosions,
Classical
desert,
music.
Tom Hardy, Charlize Theron,
She
explosions,
looks
guns.
awesome in this movie, by the way. Like, she looks so freaking good.
She actually looks hot for a shaved-headed woman,
Yeah, she looks
if that's a
great.
thing.
Yeah.
So
I don't think bald women exist, Lance. I think they're a fairy tale, like unicorns and narwhals.
women with a shaved head.
Yeah, it's not actually a
I
thing.
don't
It's just a made-up story to scare children.
Sigourney Weaver actually looked kind of good with a shaved head too.
Yeah, it
And
wasn't real.
aliens.
Alien 3,
Mm-hmm.
like a little bit,
It was a shaved head wig.
just a
It's
tip.
just because.
No,
How many beers have you had?
this is only beer 3. I'm not drunk. I'm having a good time.
Both acceptable. So let's talk about video games.
I like
or
my
something.
Planet Fatness shirt, by the way. Shout out to Planet Fatness. I wear the shirt when I'm feeling fat. So
You mean Planet
yeah, let's
Fitness?
talk Planet Fatness. So when I get a little chubbier, I like to put this shirt on and remind myself that I need to start losing a little weight.
Jesus Christ.
Welcome to a video game podcast. Tom only likes to talk about video games, and he gets really grumpy when we don't.
Just video games and porn. Those are like my two things.
So if we started a dedicated porn podcast, you'd be all about it.
I know for a fact that there are 2 other podcasts that would join us in that endeavor.
I'm sure there's more than 2.
I can name some names. Oh, one more thing I want to talk about before we talk about video games.
Oh, it's the worst.
So we have talked we've been not challenged, but I challenged Grumble Mountain.
Mandy, we're gonna need your help on this because you're athletic, so you're in.
Oh, okay.
If it's just me and Mandy, fine. I'll take Arthur too. I already told him. Grumble Mountain. There's actually challenge out to any of our friends who play who want to be in the podcast basketball challenge. So basically, and I'll take your shots of beer and stuff, Mandy. But basically, we're gonna play basketball, and every time somebody scores, we drink a beer.
Oh my gosh.
So whoever, obviously losing team. So it's gonna be a short game, but it's gonna last 10 minutes. I'm gonna dunk on some motherfuckers, and then if I dunk on them, they should have to drink 2 drinks. So.
And if the rim comes down, we have to drink 5.
And we'll actually have our bench warmers could actually be our beer drinkers if we want to. So I don't know.
They could be your beer cheerleaders. You know.
There you go. Beer
chug,
leaders.
chug.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. So
beer leaders.
Well,
yes.
I'm terrible at basketball. When I was a kid, my parents had me in basketball. I'm really good on defense. I'm awful on offense. And they said, for every basket you score in a game, we'll give you $1. And I was like, sweet. As a kid, you're like money motivated, right? And I played that, I think, for 3 years. I think I was at like 3 years consistently. I literally did not ever make $1. And it's so pathetic. And I'm like, that kind of kills your self-esteem, Mom and Dad. Probably shouldn't have motivated me by that. You probably should have changed it up a little bit, because clearly wasn't learning.
for like as much as you practice.
Yeah. Oh,
you
yeah.
get $1.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I don't know how many times I steal the ball, because I do that all the time, but then I just flummer. I'm terrible.
Considering that I was playing a power forward or the center, I probably should have scored more than I did. But don't tell Grumble Mountain that, because I'm still going to dunk on their asses.
Could we do like Harlem Globetrotter shit? Like, Mandy can run and she can like jump into my hands. I can throw her in the air so she can slam dunk it.
Yeah, we should have arch rival rules actually. Like you could pants the other team. Like,
oh my gosh.
Everyone pants those motherfuckers.
And then we can do like the human pyramid and then fall towards the basket and slam dunk it.
Did you guys ever play arch rivals?
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah, I played the shit out of that game. Like you could punch the other team. You could punch them. Like I would just run down the basketball court punching the other team.
I think whenever we talk about sports games, it always degrades to us talking about Mutant League football, arch rivals, and
NFL Blitz.
And NFL Blitz.
Because those are the best ones. Those are the only ones we're talking about. I mean, the ones where you get to like basically humiliate the other team. That's the only kind of sports I like.
Blitz was awesome too because there was no offsides. So you could
Oh yeah, there was offsides.
There was offsides, but the game wouldn't let you go offsides, so you could like run right at the line and just keep running. So as soon as the ball moved, you were blowing through the defense and crushing people.
Yeah. Oh, I did that shit, and I love the like adding insult to injury. Like when you sack the quarterback,
you
can
like
pick him
elbow
up
drop him.
You can just like come up and like slam him on the ground again. That's so much fun.
The game was awesome.
The only sports game I ever played was on good old, like super old school SNES, and it was a football game. And the 49ers were always way better than any other team, and my brother would always take him.
That sounds like a Madden 96 or something.
Probably Madden like 75.
Like everybody.
God damn it! You're making me feel old. The NES
shirts.
came out in like '83.
83, which is where one of my favorite games originated.
Same.
And with that, we are going to segue into Castlevania. For two things. First off, I'm going to give you a background on what I did this weekend, everyone, because you need to know. So I was over at my girlfriend's house, and I did not have any of my gaming systems. And and my friends that play Xbox are like, they've been like randomly texting me, kind of like to find out if I had like fallen off the planet or make sure I'm still alive, because I log on every day, and they're like, "Hey man, I hope you're okay. Hope you're not feeling suicidal or something. I haven't seen you on Xbox One lately." And I'm like, yeah, I just haven't been home. And plus, I've been really super fucking addicted to XCOM. Enemy Unknown, which if you have not played XCOM or you played XCOM, or is it Enemy Unknown or Enemy? What are the two names, Tom?
Enemy Within, I think, is the...
Enemy Within is the expansion. That's the one I've been playing.
Right,
and
but
if
the
you
one
haven't
on-
played that...
But the one on, isn't the one on iPad Enemy Within, but it's Enemy Unknown that has the expansion bundled into it?
Yes, it's the same. Well, okay. So Enemy Within is integrated into Enemy Unknown. So basically, like the campaigns are combined, and if you played the first one, you'll love the second one. It's
Is
the
it
same.
multiplayer or like what kind of? I've never heard of it. What kind of game is it?
It's turn-based. It's a turn-based military strategy, I think is the best way to put it, with a lot of political elements. It's super fucking fun. Like if you can do something like Halo, but in a turn-based.
Turn-based. I literally.
You got to give this one a chance. If you have an iPad, download it. I think it's like $5, or is it still on sale, Tom?
I bought it for 10. It cost me 10.
Challenge Mandy to play that game. I challenge you, play it.
It's better than you'd think, but
yes, it's amazing.
Turn-based.
Give it 2 hours.
I get so bored, and I'm like, 15 hours later, and I'm still turning my turn, playing my turn.
2 hours. Okay, here's the
right.
best part about it. Well, I mean, you don't drink, so it's not as beneficial for you. But you take turns. Take the turns. Drink your drink. So take turns. Drink your Diet Coke. Drink.
I hate that crap. No way.
Okay, so get a smoothie or whatever.
I'm not like anti-caffeine. I love Dr. Pepper. I just hate diet crap. Like
all right, Dr. Pepper it is. Let's get yourself a Dr. Pepper. So anyways, so yeah.
So on to Castlevania.
Great
segue. Castlevania. So I was over at my girlfriend's house. She still has a Wii. And she's been talking. She's like, yeah, I think I'm going to sell it. I'm like, honey, you are not going to be able to sell this shit. She's like, I think I could get $50 for it. I'm like, you'll be lucky to get 25 for a fucking Wii on KSL. Like, I would highly doubt it. I mean, what do you think, Tom? You think you could get $50 for a Wii these days?
Funny enough, I'm actually considering selling mine too. That's hilarious. And I was looking at competitive like prices. Not to totally just cut you off 100%, Tom, but they're like,
Go for it.
they're anywhere from like 50 to some idiots are selling them for like 250. I'm like, bah, good luck, moron. You're never gonna sell your Wii. But I think the average is like 60. I'm sure she could get 50 for it, honestly.
For some games?
Don't tell her that she can get $50 for that. Because to me, it's not worth it. I mean, that system was what, 99 for launch time?
It was 200.
It was 150. Oh, it was.
Yeah.
I think I bought it at like 150 or 200. Well, 150 or 100 when I bought ours.
Like the Wii Junior now for like $100, and it's almost like an Apple TV looking bag. And it doesn't have internet connectivity at all, I think, or maybe it does. No, I don't think it has internet connectivity. It's really like a scaled down Wii.
Interesting.
But, anyway.
Regardless, I was kind of bored and logged into her system. I was going to try and log, my old Wii account onto it, and I finally said fuck it and purchased some Wii points and downloaded Castlevania 1 again because I had a hankering. That system is good for one thing. If you want classic games, that's a really easy way to get them. Like if you like some of the originals like Metroid,
old school Mario.
Yeah, the Marios. I think I bought like all the original Marios or something like that originally.
I will say though that the whole reason I got a Wii was because of the virtual console, that aspect, so that I could buy my favorite freaking game, Crystallis, but that one for some retarded reason has copywriting. So F my life, I can never play that game unless I go onto like a web browser and it's super ghetto and I hate my life. But continue.
Sorry, go ahead. I have something totally unrelated that I want to talk about, and I'm going to.
You're good.
So,
Tom, you hold that thought.
Pippin,
go ahead.
Oh, Mandy, go, Mandy.
No, that's the end of it.
Oh. You sure? You good?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, it's hard because I can't read your facial expressions. You're just a tiger on rocket skates for me.
Yes, tiger.
Go, Tom.
So if you go to, it's Pippin Games, I believe, but it's play The Shining in a web browser, and you play through The Shining. It's like 8-bit. Probably takes you 3.5-4 minutes to go through the whole movie.
Oh, you sent that in a message, right?
Yeah, it is so sick.
That's awesome.
I mean,
is it free?
Yeah, it's totally free, and you just click the start, and it's like you control it with the arrows and the space bar. And
Nice.
it's amazing. There's even a scene where, the all work and no play make Jack a
Oh,
dull
yeah.
boy typing. You have to type that out, but you can't type it on your keyboard. You just have to hit spacebar to make him type. So you're just like mashing spacebar while the words are appearing on the screen. And they do like the elevator filled with blood scene, but it's all
that's
pixelated.
cool.
It was great. So shout
love
out to
crap
that
like that.
person. It was a great game. I'm actually see if I can find it real quick while we're podcasting.
That's like one of my favorite movies of all time.
all time.
Yeah. Stanley Kubrick is probably my favorite director.
Yeah,
I watched.
Good.
I was gonna say I watched that movie for the first time on an incredibly awkward date with this kid that I'd been dating for a while.
Oh, I
And
hate
it was
when you
like-
watch great movies on awkward dates.
Yes.
That's the worst.
And same with like
I mean,
A Few
people are
Good
trying to
Men.
stick their finger in your what, and
You're like, bro, back off! I'm trying to see what happens. That's me. But yeah, so no, and there's like no music in that whole movie. Like it's just silent,
Mm-hmm.
oh, they
And-
do music, but it's pretty low key. Oh, beer
Yeah.
spilled.
But it's like it was so awkward. His whole house was silent. I'm like, well, I'm gonna watch this later because I'm gonna leave. But
I'm gonna go home without this and then watch
Mm-hmm.
it.
That actually happened to me when I was watching It. I watched It at this girl's house, and
they're remaking
like,
it back.
yeah, I saw that, and I'm kind of pissed off about it. But I watched it at this girl's house who I had a crush on, and that's just like one of the worst. Watching interesting movies when you're trying to like get it on is the worst idea ever. So, yes.
So on that note, so on Kickstarter yesterday, Koji Igarashi, who worked on
Tom, we're talking about getting it on, not.
Yeah, we are getting on the Castlevania. So he worked on pretty much almost every Castlevania game. I mean, he worked on also some of the greatest games, but he worked on Symphony of the Night, Chronicles, Harmony of Dissonance, Aria of Sorrow, Lament of Innocence, Nano Breaker, which was kind of a Castlevania type game, Dawn of Sorrow, Curse of Darkness, Portrait of Ruin, Dracula X. I mean, pretty much
Every single title.
Yeah, almost every single title. And he kind of vanished for a while.
Was that when they had Kojima take over and do those two?
Which
Okay.
he didn't work on those. The last Castlevania he worked on was Harmony of Despair for the Xbox Live Arcade. He was a producer on it, and that one was kind of a weird puzzle one. So he kind of vanished. Everybody's made jokes about him disappearing. Well, 2 days ago they launched a Kickstarter for Bloodstained: Ritual of the Night. They're calling it an Igavania, which is just defined as a gothic exploration-focused action platformer designed by one of the godfathers of the genre, which is true. Without him, there would have been no Symphony of the Night, which, in my opinion, is one of the best, if not the best, Castlevania game. So yeah.
Castlevania 1 is still the best.
It is, but Symphony of the Night was incredible, man. It was such a great game.
It was a great game, but okay, I'm not gonna argue. It's just a different game. I think the reason why I like Castlevania 1 so much, which by the way, I just want to point out that still after all these years, I cannot pass fucking Frankenstein and those damn, I don't know what they're called, the Igors or Igors, Fleeman, whatever the fuck they
Are you talking about the little jumpy guys, right?
Fucking hate those little sons of
Dude, all you
bitches.
do for the flea men is just they have patterns. You just step back and whip them.
Okay, they're still difficult, and they made me want to throw the controller through the fucking TV. I want to find those flea men and fucking kill them, every single one of them.
That's what you could have done, but you didn't try hard enough.
Zing.
So
Okay.
he releases Kickstarter. It looks awesome. Has a female lead, and it looks like a Castlevania game. I mean,
So what he's saying is he finally stopped making all the guys look like girls, and he just did a girl this time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Good idea.
She's probably super weak and lame though, right?
Yeah. Oh no, she looks pretty badass. She's got like a whip, like a flaming whip that shoots like dragon fire. She can levitate and shit. It looks like.
I'm telling
Yeah.
you, they have only two spectrums when it comes to girl characters. They're either super weak with big old boobs and they're just like, oh, they're just there to be pretty,
Which
or
I
the other
support.
half, yeah, which okay, whatever. I mean, they're there, okay. I just never play them because they're super annoying. But or they're like the impossibly, amazingly awesome, way better than any guy could ever be character, and it pisses me off.
And I think she's just going to be a Castlevania lead. I mean, most of the female Castlevania leads have been awesome. And to give you an idea of who's in it, so Koji is the creator. Michiru Yamane is the principal composer. She also was the principal composer on most of the Castlevania games. And then you've got Ippo Yamada, who he has a huge composition in and stuff. He did a bunch of the Mega Man games, and a whole bunch of other Capcom titles. So it's a great looking game. You can go look at some of the concept art on Kickstarter. But 2 days in, they're at just shy of $1.9 million. Their goal was 500,000. So the game is funded already. If they get to 2 million, there will be a boss rush mode, and if they get to 2.25 million, there will be a retro level, and that was like the final tier that they can hit. So pretty rad. It's looking good. I'm stoked. And then there'll be backer achievements by submitting fan art and cool things and tweeting them and following them on social media. They're doing a lot of really good stuff, but the fact of the matter is Castlevania's coming back, and I am so stoked to see like an Igavania. It's not Castlevania, but I mean it's from Igarashi, so it is basically Castlevania.
Cool.
Which means this year we're gonna get, Mighty Number 9, which is a Mega Man spiritual successor, and then probably next year we'll get Bloodstained, which will be a Castlevania spiritual successor.
Oh yeah!
I would love more Mega Man in my life.
Yeah, well, you'll play Mighty Number 9 with us, right, on your Xbox One? Yeah. Because it's gonna be so good. So that's that. I just wanted to talk about that because Castlevania is my favorite gaming franchise. I know, Lance, it's in your top things.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Castlevania 1 is by far my favorite. I also really liked Castlevania 64. I know a lot of people hated that one.
Castlevania 64 was underrated, man. It was really fun.
I really liked it. In fact, us just talking about it right now makes me want to pull out the 64 and play it. Except for I don't think I have it right now. And then also I really liked Super Castlevania. I think it was the title.
Yeah, which was for Super Nintendo, right? Super Castlevania
Right.
4. Yeah.
That was the one where you could whip onto stuff
and control the whip direction and
yeah.
Yep.
That one was fun as shit.
That's one of my favorites too. That one, of course, Symphony of the Night. I loved all the handheld ones they've made in the last couple of years. So for the DS, the 3DS.
Didn't they release Symphony of the Night for the Xbox 360?
They did. They re-released it. In our extra live stream, I actually played start to finish.
That's a good segue.
I didn't do the Upside Down Castle, but I did. I got to the Upside Down Castle before it was 5 o'clock in the morning. I was pretty much done. So.
I want to talk about something really quick in regards to that. So, for our listeners, just to let you know, we are going to be doing another charity in August. It's going to be for lupus.
Yeah.
Just the local chapter. We're just doing the Salt Lake chapter for lupus here. We'll do a 24-hour gaming marathon. We haven't decided on a venue. There's a good chance that we might actually get a sponsor in the downtown area that's going to give us a spot to stream everything. Nice. We're also looking for people who want to contribute. So if you have the time or would like to stream, please let us know. So
and that's the big thing we're going to do. So we're going to kind of do it community-based. So obviously we will do a 24-hour stream. And we will try to set it up from a location. We'll work out all those details. But if you would like to be part of it, would like to stream, reach out to us. I would say feedback@entertainmentisdead is a good .com is a good email.
Or Lance at Entertainment is Dead, Thomas at Entertainment is Dead.
Yep, any one of those. Let us know. We'll talk to you about it. We're gonna start working on that stuff. And shout outs to Dylan King for saying it's never Lucas. It's never lupus.
I've been getting that shit lately.
It's from House.
I know.
It's just funny. And then it sounds like Dylan may be joining us. So Dylan, welcome to the party. We'll email us so we can get some details rolling. But
yeah, long time listener. We'll be glad to have you on, man.
Glad to have you on, jam out with us. So yeah, that'll be cool. The only other thing we want to talk about really quick is the Assassin's Creed announcement, right?
Yes.
Well, two things. Two things, Tom.
Okay, two things.
Go ahead, Mandy.
Oh, I'm going to be talking for a little bit, so I don't want to like.
It's okay. I'll get my. I'll go get a pillow and a blanket and fucking take a nap. And when
Why
you
are we
guys are
talking for
done talking
that
about
long?
Assassin's Creed,
Goodness.
I'm just kidding. Oh, go ahead. Talk about it.
I'm way excited. So, Assassin's Creed Unity, I really did not like the character. He was just super weak. He was French. He's kind of lame. But anyway, I
But they
did
made
really
some great
like.
glitches for that game, by the
They
way.
did, yeah. And I have a couple of really funny videos actually when I was playing with Randy. And it was a really fun game to do multiplayer. I loved it. It got a tiny bit like super, actually not tiny. It got super frustrating because it was really fun but also really hard. So like you had to work really well together as a team, which is good, but they need to make it a little bit easier. So hopefully, I don't know if they're going to have multiplayer with Syndicate. I hope that they do. But the main character for the storyline aspect, I really did not love for Unity. So when I was watching the previews and like all the gameplay, I've watched a ton of videos about it already. I'm vaguely geeking out hardcore about it. But the guy, you're a gangster in London, if you don't know, in like 1860 something, 1868, I think. And you're Jacob Fry, and he looks awesome. He looks kind of like Gangs of New York, like the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio with like the big chops, like side. Uh, oh
Mutton
my
chops.
gosh,
Mutton
I was
chops.
gonna say side eyebrows. I'm so tired right
With
now.
your side
Holy
of face,
shit!
with your side of
What
face
are those
eyebrows.
called? Oh my gosh, sideburns. Oh my gosh, there we go.
I have a face unibrow I've been working on.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but it looks really cool because you have different like I can't remember what they call them, like blocks, not blocks, but like they're different like areas of London that you have to like that they're trying to clear out essentially of like and get like the working class back like making the money because they're just like working for nothing, but yet the people up and up are making tons. So the thing that I did not love about Unity is that the assassin Arno didn't really follow the creed of assassins. He just kind of like decided to kill whoever he wanted to like better suit his needs to follow this girl that he was like trying to help out because he loved her, essentially. And I'm hoping that they make Jacob actually follow like the storyline or the creed, and then they get back to like that aspect. But it looks really good, and the preview that I saw with the music was way freaking like it made me want to go buy it immediately. I'm like, all right, well done, Ubisoft. You've done an awesome job with this preview.
Is this fall release for it?
I think it's late summer.
They're
Um,
saying
I
it'll
don't.
be available October 23rd.
Oh yeah, it is. I just
Crank
barely
those
looked it up.
motherfuckers
October
out.
23rd.
I've got money down. It'll get delayed.
You think?
If they want to do it right, it'll get delayed.
Oh yeah, because they want
Well,
to
they're
make
not
as
gonna.
much money as they possibly can off of it.
Please. They didn't do it right with Unity, and they still freaking made tons. I'm sure that they'll push it out that same day, and then just apologize and give anybody who gets it like their free
So
pass, like they did with Unity.
my favorite comment that I've seen about this so far was actually on Evil Avatar, and somebody put a God, what did they say? At least they'll have an excuse for the British accents.
Oh gosh.
Lance, your
Well,
audio's dead, bro.
Oh yeah, it's because I hit mute. That goddamn like okay, so I'm half French, and I cannot tell you how fucking irritating that is that like everybody had British accents, and then like to read their excuse for why they use British accents
what was
in the
their
last one.
excuse?
I can't even remember. It was some long drawn out fucking PR thing, and I was like, wow, you guys. I'm holding back right now, Mandy. I'm holding back because I know how much you love that game. So
Oh no, no,
I'm just gonna let it.
Unity. You don't have to hold back at all. Like truthfully, Unity was not my favorite. My favorite one, which is gonna probably not anybody's favorite, was Ezio. He was my fave. I loved him.
No, a
Ezio was
lot of
in two,
people
right?
said,
Yeah,
yeah, a lot of people said they really liked two. I just got disconnected after one. Like I tried 3 or 4 times to beat two, and I just
See, I'm very different. I liked two more than one, and I liked three less than two, but I still
same.
struggled through it. And like my experience with three was so rough. Like my Xbox One came with, I bought the Assassin's Creed bundle, and the code is still sitting on my unscratched off, just sitting there waiting to be redeemed, and I can't even like muster the energy to do that.
I was so drunk playing Unity that yeah, I tried. I even watched the stream of myself playing that game, and just watching the game made me really, really grumpy. Um, I the thing about Assassin's Creed that they just should. This is why it was interesting to me in the first place. They should have just made it that era, like not like a flashback or like a we're in the future, but we're gonna try and put you in the body of somebody in the past. And if they just made it in that time frame, like why would that have been so difficult? I mean, I loved games like Jade Empire and just like these timepiece games where you're not really, it's or like Red Dead Redemption or something like that where you can live in that world. Like I just wanted to see that world. I have no desire, do not care about any kind of future timeline. Not to mention the other thing was the other thing was really.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the other thing about it is the fetch quest stuff. I felt like
Those are annoying.
it wasn't. It's not like playing something like Batman where you could, you had the open world, but then you still had like stuff that you had to overcome and different things going on. Like, you go to this place and have to sneak through this. I mean, yeah, obviously you had to sneak through and you had to kill some bad guys. And there's some formula to it, but it switched it up enough to where it still was interesting. The plot was intriguing, and the characters were great. Whereas Assassin's Creed just very much got into this rhythm where it was like, go kill this guy, go kill this guy, go kill this guy. And it was a fetch quest for murdering people. So, and that is the sad truth of why I hate Assassin's Creed. Move on. Tom.
I think you should probably play a more recent one to get a little. That's my challenge to you, is to try a more recent one. Because
what about I've got Black Flag.
See, I downloaded that because I got it from my Xbox too. It came with it, and I'm kind of disconnected from it. I think it's because it's so open. You drive. I know, and I love pirates. I'm so surprised that I don't like it. But
can't handle the British accents on Unity. Can't handle it.
I think you should try Unity. I think you should. I mean, just for the gameplay aspect, not for the storyline, not for the freaking accents, but the actual gameplay.
Mandy, if you buy and play XCOM on your iPad, I'll donate another 2 hours of my life to that stupid Assassin's Creed. But you have to. I want to see screenshots. They have to be posted in Slack. You have to play that fucking game.
Because I hate turn-based. All right, I'll think about it.
It's so good.
I hate turn-based.
You're gonna love it. 2 hours. I'll give you 2 hours for 2 hours.
All right. Because I will say that like Unity has a crappy storyline. The multiplayer is really fun. Like if you play with Randy, Steve, and I, it'll be way fun. And but oh my gosh, my dog is dreaming on my bed and shaking the whole bed. Holy crap. Anyway, but it's I think you'd have a little bit different opinion of like the type of gameplay of Assassin's Creed, because it's not as much like, oh, go eavesdrop and then go pick up a paper or whatever. There's a couple of really, really fun like missions on Unity that are just different, that are, I don't know, it's fun.
Fair enough. We'll give it a shot. 2 hours for 2 hours. You tell me when to buy it. I'll donate my 2 hours.
All right.
All right. So, Tom, one last thing on the agenda.
Do it. I've got some news on that, so I'm ready when you're ready.
Ooh, yeah. Let's talk about the Destiny expansion. It's next week.
You want the good news or the bad news?
I'm so excited. I don't care either way.
All right. So it's supposed to launch Tuesday.
Right.
So shout out to Game Informer for scooping this off the Bungie page. But Deej from Bungie posted at 12 hours and 18 minutes ago. He's calling him Deej. Fuck him. And good morning, Guardians, or blah blah blah. I've spoken with the finest minds about the 1.2 update just moments ago. They're working to correct a late-breaking technical issue that would have impacted the way the game launches for a large portion of you. Progress is being made. We'll be sharing new details on the deployment schedule that leads to House of Wolves as soon as they become facts. At the very least, you'll hear from me once a day about this. Hang in there, and thanks for your patience. So Game Informer feels that this may impact the release on Tuesday, whether delaying it or fucking it up royally. Because, so there you have it. That's that, and that was 12 hours ago. So
Not
noon
surprised.
today, 11 o'clock today, which I didn't see. So interesting. So what do you want to say about it, Lance?
I would say I think the thing about Bungie that I've always said and I really appreciate is they do listen to their community, and they are very, they realize that the balance between, like, pleasing people and pleasing shareholders, right? So I think they've made necessary changes to keep people playing a game. However, I was lost after Crota,
Yep.
probably a couple months after playing the Crota expansion.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great. It was I would recommend any of you that have not bought the expansion. I recommend it. I recommend playing through that raid. It's really, really fun, and pretty much everybody who's playing the game right now, you probably have 4 to 5 friends that could just push you through the whole thing, and it's worth seeing. You get a good group, you could do it in like an hour, or less, probably like 30 minutes. But anyways, so much fun. I felt like Vault of Glass was great too. They did a really good job with this game. But I think the disconnect is a couple things for me. I sunk something like 600 hours in this game, I think. And it just, at the end of the day, it didn't offer enough to me to keep me going. And I think a lot of people would say the same. Tom fell off after, I think, how many hours do you think you put into it?
I don't know, enough to do Crota. Whatever it took to get me into Crota and get me through Crota once. I think I've done Crota 2 or 3 times. I did Vault of Glass 2 or 3 times.
I never did Vault of Glass. My freaking friends are bastards. Every time I try to do it with them, they're like, "Oh, we already did it. We're going to do something different." I'm like,
That was, yeah, that was a tough thing about that game. But they're not the first ones to do this, is the thing. World of Warcraft, especially in the first couple of years, I want to say, when did they start? WoW was out for I want to say 8 or 9 years before they ever introduced matchmaking for raids and stuff like that. I don't remember a timeline on the
Like pickup groups.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, you
remember.
could
No,
find a pug.
It was pretty soon because I played. It had only been out a year or two when I started getting really heavily into it, and they had pug groups at that time.
Well,
Not
it
for
was
raids,
different
though.
back then. I mean, like pug groups back then would be like you would have a general channel and you'd start talking
That's
to
true.
people.
Just get picked up.
I mean, now it's all built into the game.
Oh, they
So
have
it's
a queuing
like,
system. Nice.
yeah, they have a queuing system for, I think, pretty much everything to do with the game now because they're trying to keep people in there, right?
Yeah.
So I think it just kind of set this bar, and some people got excluded from that. Well, I mean, I spent enough time in the game, so I completed everything. The single player, I just felt like there's a lack to keep you going. Like there isn't anything like once you beat Crota, you could beat Crota on hard. I had like pretty much all the hard guns, minus like one that I could give a shit less about that just wasn't a good gun. And I just didn't have any reason to play. And then something that always breaks it for me is when there's a balance for guns in multiplayer. I hate that for some reason. I can't get over it. Had the same problem with like Battlefield 3. They put out a patch really late on Xbox 360, or was it Xbox One? No, it was Xbox 360. And there was like this really money gun. The FAMAS was money on Battlefield 3, and they fucked everything up. So yeah, I feel like they patched it. They said they were gonna fix some things. Instead, they like boosted the Thorn gun, which has always been like a I don't know. I think a mediocre gun at best. Said they were going to nerf all the handguns, but like I felt like boosted that gun. It's just kind of a messy patch, in my opinion. Um, but again, I mean, I think they have an opportunity to really clean it up and make a great PvP arena with all the new stuff that they announced with that. Making PvP gear specifically. The thing that is really irritating about the House of Wolves is I paid $35 for both expansions, and I'm going to basically get a horde mode out of the second like part of the expansion, and they're not even going to have a new raid, right?
Right.
So
Oh, they're not
that's
even
kinda,
doing a new raid?
no new raid.
Weird.
Nope. It's going to be like it's is it an existing level, Tom? It's like there's a strike. There's one new strike.
Something like that.
I don't remember all the details but it's basically like it's like two strikes I think and like one storyline mission or something like that, and then like basically a horde mode.
Yeah.
And then free patches, there's gonna be a patch for PvP, which is pretty cool, like the stuff they're doing there, but it's still like like super frustrating, complete waste of time. They're announcing a couple other things that are coming up later that they'll probably make everybody pay for, which I would be shocked if they get a big like take rate for that. So
yeah, so keep checking. You'll see if they actually make it out on the 19th. Go fund Igarashi's game. Go buy Castlevania. Not Castlevania. And
Mandy, what else do you have to add to the Destiny release? Anything?
No, I don't know. I like Tom. I kind of dropped off right when that Crota was dropping. I didn't actually download any DLC for it just because I felt it was so freaking repetitive. Like, oh yeah, you have a different front, but yet you have to still go to the moon and gather all this crap. Like that's like you have a problem with Assassin's Creed because it's all like gather fetch quests. That's how I felt that Destiny was.
It's true.
So for the first,
it is really the same thing.
Yeah. So for the first few months, or month or so, that I think I played it solid for a month, like every single day. I was super addicted to it. I loved it. It was a great game. So, but for me, I'm probably not going to buy any expansions for Destiny ever again. Well, actually, I'd have to buy Destiny all over again because I sold my Xbox 360 and it with it. So I'd have to buy it all over again. So, but for me, it's not compelling enough of a game to want to do it again, unless I'm completely bored of all my games, which I am right now. So maybe I will.
Well, I'd recommend if you're bored, just a couple suggestions to pretty much anybody that's bored right now if they're looking for games and good cheap games.
XCOM.
Well, there's XCOM. XCOM's cheap. It's kind of a budget game. Ori and the Blind Forest, I think, is $20. Definitely worth your time. Really, really fun.
Oh, yeah,
That's on
I
Xbox
saw that on
One.
there. Yep.
Yeah, definitely check that out. What else did I buy recently that I really liked? If you like scary, like survival horror type stuff, check out White Knight. It's pretty fun.
Oh hell. Those games I scream like my face off as I'm playing. Oh, do you guys know? Did you guys ever play Alan Wake?
No, I bought it.
I bought it.
Yeah,
I think I bought
Steam
it or
library.
got it for free. I played probably an hour of it and just couldn't get into it. A lot of people really liked it.
I loved it. It was really fun. I played I think I have like only 1 or 2 levels left, but then I sold my freaking 360 and I've never finished it. But I heard kind of talk that they're doing a second. Do you guys know anything about that?
I heard there was I think the second game got canned, but there was like
Oh man.
I think it's another spiritual successor.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I like that phrase, by the way, a spiritual successor.
it's kind of what's going on in gaming. Yeah, introducing the Alan Wake 2 you will never play. So, and that's on Polygon.
sad.
I think they were working on it and then they canned it. And it looks really cool, and there's a prototype video you can watch.
Just to tease you and make you hate life a little bit more.
But it looks like...
Every time I go watch gameplay for StarCraft Ghost, I do the same thing.
Yeah. So, there's stuff happening there. Or, is it Quantum Break? Let's see, Quantum Break.
Oh, I think you might be right. While Tom's looking that up, I want to share a little story for everyone here that just should make everyone in this room grumpy and everybody who's watching. So I actually got to watch the demo for StarCraft Ghost, and I was one person away from playing the demo, and I can't tell you how fucking irritated I am about this to this day, about some fat fucking GameStop manager who wouldn't get off his ass to let somebody else play that game. And I got to watch the fire bat like fucking roasting the floor and the ceiling, and like and then playing like multiplayer in that game, and we are never going to get it, and I'm so mad about that. I just wanted to play the demo. Some fucking fat ass wouldn't get off his ass so I could play that game. That's all I have to say about that. Really grumpy still.
Can we go to bed now? I'm tired.
Yes. So this has concluded our really awkward episode. I hope you liked it. I am Chuck, at Chuck Sweat on Twitter. You can look me up on other social media, but I probably won't interact with you because I don't really care to do that on anything but Twitter. Tom is at Thomas Winkley. Mandy is at Mandy on Twit with underscores. Mandy's on Twit. What is it again, Tom?
It is Mandy_on_twit.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Bam. If you want to send a direct tweet to the podcast, it's at Entertainment is Dead.
No, it's at EID Podcast.
At EID Podcast.
If you're listening to us on iTunes, go ahead and review us. Say terrible things about us. We don't care. Send us feedback email, feedback@entertainmentisdead.com.
I swear we get so much feedback on the fact that my voice doesn't fit my body, and that's
Tons,
about it.
Buckets of it. Hundreds of emails a day.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, no one emails us. So if you want to email us, we're there. We have an email box.
Yeah, we like a you.
We like a you. We like an email. I'm now muting Lance. I'm now muting me.